What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Pokemon Platinum. In the last episode, we finished up on Iron Island, taking down the last of the trainers with Riley in tow, as well as putting a stop to Team Galactic there. We also finally evolved the last team member, Helena. We got our Shiny Stone. We have a Roserade now. Thank goodness, the entire team is all set in stone and good to go. But we have one Pokemon that's kind of the odd one out right now, which is Era. We're going to talk about Era a little bit later. It's not like I'm replacing her, don't you worry. It's just that she kind of doesn't have a lot to do right now, and that's probably going to stay for a little while. Now, our focus today is to get through this gym, which we will. We're going to fight a lot of trainers along the way, and obviously get ourselves the badge. I'm not going to stop this episode until we've done that. But yeah, we got some work to do for sure. We got a lot of workers to fight, which they're all going to be packing Magnemites, which I'm not too worried about these guys. Their physical defense is nothing to write home about. If it was a Magnemite or a Magneton or a Magnezone, wow, I couldn't remember the name of it for a second, I would be a little bit more concerned, but I ain't too worried about these little guys. But yeah, let's talk about Era for a minute. So Era is officially hitting a point where she doesn't have a lot of utility. Now, this is not just true for Era. This is true for any flying type at this late stage in the game. This gym is kind of bad. The next two gyms are really bad for flying types. I'm talking really bad. Now, I'm going to try not to... I'm not going to get discouraged here. We're going to keep using her, but we're going to have to babysit her quite a bit going into some of the next few areas, and especially as the levels start to slowly encroach and catch up to us again. I can't like rely on the experience share too much, so I'm gonna be looking pretty much every opportunity I can to use her. I will, but it's gonna be tough just because she doesn't really have a whole lot of wiggle room. I don't know. We'll see after this gym, but that is something to keep in mind because yeah, she is. Now that we have a Roserade, she is far and away the weakest link, and honestly may have already had that title even when Helena was a Roselia. So yeah, so this one, if you couldn't tell from the elevators over here, I'll just kind of show this again. That's a dead end, so we don't really get back on that one. We're going to skip it and head over to this worker and fight them next. I actually didn't pay attention to which of these two elevators is the most important, but we can obviously check via trial and error. So this guy's just going to have one Magnemite, very easy to deal with. I'm not too concerned. So let's just hit you with the good old Flame Wheel, which I really need to be using a whole lot more in this place. Especially because I have so many more uses of it than Brick Break. Need to save those close combats for very special instances, but we're just trying to level up Gyoja a little bit. Because considering we haven't been using him much lately, just kind of put him on the back burner after he evolved. But now I will get to doing that. Okay, so yeah, that just puts us in a loop. So that was a sort of a circle, but now we can head over here. Okay, yes, I do want to fight you next. So this guy's going to have a very different Pokemon, one that's actually one of a kind in this gym. No one else is going to have it. And that is a Pokemon that we've only seen but not, or we've only heard of but not seen, and that is Scizor. Now, Scizor, it does have a quad weakness to fire, which is why I'm going to use Gyoja against it, no problem. It also is a fair bit slower than Scyther, unfortunately, but it does have much better defenses, much more well-rounded stats, which is why it's even able to tank a quad weakness stab fire move. I mean, now if that was a little bit more powerful, like Fire Punch, it probably would not have survived, but you know. Too bad it really couldn't retaliate all that much. But there we go. Okay, and enough to get us to level 38. Not bad at all. I will take it. We've defeated Caesar. Okay. Next up, we're going to head on over here. And we've got about, I think, 3 trainers left to fight in this gym. So let's head on over this way. Starting to get into an area of the gym that we don't really have to worry about too much. Let's go here first. Anyone over this way? Another worker here. Let's fight you next. And I think this guy's just going to throw more Magnemites at us. I can't believe that none of these guys can have a Magneton. When does Magnemite evolve into Magneton? That's, I guess, the real question of the hour. Level 30. So, yeah, there's no excuse for this nonsense. You really should be throwing some Magnetons at me. I mean, freak. Give a Magnezone to the gym leader or something. I mean, it's not like it wasn't newly introduced here in Gen 4. I don't know, maybe they thought it was a little bit too powerful. Something along those lines, but definitely could have, like, shaken things up a little bit to have some Magnetons early on. But no, we're just going to throw these wimpy little guys at us. Which, you know, I suppose that's fine. That's not too bad. But down you go. Okay. And now, Gerardo has been beaten. We still have a couple more trainers to track down in here. Head on over this way. I'm going to take this elevator next. That is a dead end. Okay, it was worth checking, though. Let's go over here. And now... Oh, hold on. Before I fight you, though, I'm actually going to do a swap here. I am going to want Triton for this guy. Because he has come packing 2 Steelixes. So we're definitely going to want to use Surf on these guys. No question. Make my life a lot easier. Rather than trying to fire and fight my way through them with their only good stat being that physical defense. What is it, like 240 or something like that? It's super, super high. Okay, just 200, but still, that I say just 200. 200 is less than 240 is what I meant. Down you go. Still very, very strong. It's the one thing it's good at. Imagine if you could teach Light Screen to Steelix somehow. It actually might be a really good tank, but unfortunately you can't. At least I don't think you can teach it Light Screen. Probably the only like saving grace with this Pokemon, if I'm being completely real with you, but I really doubt that you can. Down you go. Yeah, I didn't think so. I was pretty sure in my assessment that you couldn't, but would have been interesting. I said assessment. I meant estimation. All right, down here. We'll follow this one. We got one more trainer left in here to fight before we get to the gym leader himself. There we go. Okay, for you, I'm going to switch back to Gyoja, especially since Triton hasn't taken any damage, and I would like for that to not change. Now, welcome to the worst Ace Trainer fight in the entire freaking game. Because I don't know what this lady thinks is why this lady thinks it's a good idea to only be packing 3 Bronzor instead of at least 1 Bronzong, but I don't know. More power to her, I suppose. She could easily have a Bronzong by this point. Whatever. It's up to her. Anyway, I'm going to knock you down. You know, I really need... Oh, wow, I can't believe it actually survived that. I mean, I guess it's because I was using... Flame Wheel's not the best, but, you know. The good thing they can't retaliate too much because Bronzor has a very pitiful special attack. Man, I really wish... I need to go back and get Fire Punch for Infernape because it's really the only fire move that's going to be like a better option. Because I really don't want to teach Flamethrower to him. I really, really don't. I'd rather just get a stronger physical fire move. Which that was at the trainer back on Route 212, if I'm not mistaken. Can't believe this. Okay, so both of them tanked it. I'll probably do a little bit of healing after this because I'm pretty sure her last Bronzor is the highest level one. Let's hit you again. I'm down with you. There. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. So now for the last one, I think I'm going to throw out a Moo Moo Milk here. It's not even going to... Because I don't want to waste any revives. We also need to get rid of this incessant blaring. Please shut up. There we go. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. I really ought to check and see how many shards I actually have. Maybe I can go back there. That would be nice. Down you go. Because I need 6 blue shards, I think, to get Fire Punch on this guy. 30 damage. Not bad, not bad. I mean, I wonder how much just a straight-up close combat would do. It's not super effective or anything, but it'd still be a lot. Okay. Pretty good. It'd probably actually be the same amount of damage now that I think about it. Like, almost the exact same. But, of course, with the lowered defense and special defense, which is what I don't want. All right. Still, super easy fight. Just a lot of extra censoring around, which is not very impressive. Almost level 39. He'll definitely hit that in our actual gym battle. But now, or a gym battle, sorry. Our badge battle. Also, oh, yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting I have these proteins. I really need to give these to Gyoja right now, actually. Okay. So, okay. Now, we are still in medicine. HP up. What should I give that to? I guess I'll give that to Geist. Geist just has consistently the lowest HP, so why the heck not? All right. Let's use another Moo Moo Milk here. Top off our team. And now, all that remains is the leader himself. So, let's head on over here and make our way down and take the red one all the way up. Here we go, everybody. Ah, that's Oreburg's gym badge. I see. You've defeated my son. But that's no surprise. He still has much to learn. In place of my son Rourke, I, Byron, will take your challenge. And so begins the 6th gym battle. Yes, the father of Rourke, Byron himself. The Steel-type specialist, he is going to be packing 3 different Pokemon, which are all going to be carrying 1 signature move, which we'll talk about in a bit. First, we have Magneton, the electric and steel type, which, I mean, obviously ground is going to be the best thing to use against a Pokemon like this, but I'm going to hit it with the close combat right off the bat. This thing has Flash Cannon, Thunderbolt, Tri-Attack, and Metal Sound. It also has the ability Magnet Pull, which, if I can remember what that does, and by remember, I mean look it up, prevents Steel-type Pokemon from escaping. So if you ever use a Steel-type Pokemon against it, you will be stuck in that fight. We've knocked that out immediately, and I'm going to hope... Actually, in fact, I know I'm going to have to switch Gyoja here, because for the other 2 Pokemon, I am definitely going to want to use Triton. Next up is his Steelix, which has Sandstorm, Earthquake, Flash Cannon, and Ice Fang. I am certainly hoping that by bringing Triton out, that should deter it from using Sandstorm. Not that I think it's going to be a pain to deal with, aside from the fact that it's just going to take time. This thing has Rock Head as its ability, which I do believe prevents it from taking any recoil damage. Not that that affects any of its current moves, so down it goes. But then we have his signature Pokemon, which is Bastiodon. And Bastiodon is going to be at level 41 with the Rock and Steel typing. It's got Metal Burst, Stone Edge, Iron Defense, and Taunt. Luckily, nothing that I really need to worry about with my Gastrodon. However, it does have better special defenses than Steelix, and by quite a fair bit. So it's probably going to survive this Surf, no problem. It has a 138 base special defense stat, and 168 base defense. This thing is just a wall in every sense of the word. It's one of the only really high special defense Rock or Steel-type Pokemon across the entire games. And then it has that Citrus Berry, which is also really nice. Metal Burst, as you can see there, is also a very, very powerful move. Now, I'm hoping I can still knock this thing out with my Surf here. But, yeah, it does 1.5 times the damage dealt by the last foe's attack. So with Surf, that can be really, really strong if it manages to survive. It's kind of its big retaliatory move. But luckily, we were still able to 2-shot it. No problem. My sturdy Pokemon defeated. Could have probably stood to use Geist in that to get the Amulet Coin going, but whatever. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. You were strong enough to take down my prized team of Pokemon. In recognition of that power, I give you this, the Mind Badge. And there we go. Now, can you guess what the special move from that fight was? It's interesting because his signature Pokemon doesn't actually have it. Having the Mind Badge enables you to use the hidden move Strength anytime outside of battle, and you now have 6 gym badges. That means all Pokemon up to level 70 will obey without question. Take this too. TM91, which contains the move Flash Cannon. If it hits, it may also lower the target's special defense. This is the Steel-type equivalent to the move Psychic. Very, very powerful move, and definitely one that I am going to want to teach to my Bronzong. So let's put that on him immediately. Or it, I suppose. It's genderless. So, I am going to get rid of Grass Knot, no question for this. 100% necessary. Nice stab move to have, so it's going to be doing a base damage of 120 at all times with stab. Really, really strong, and right there next to Psychic as the strongest move on that Pokemon. It's funny that Earthquake is now the weakest, even though he is more of a physical attacker than special attacker. But let's take the Red Lift down and out, and let's leave this place. Very easy gym, at least for my team setup. So I will take that very gladly. What's up, Barry? Hey, that's the Mind Badge. Good going. You're tough enough to consider becoming the Pokemon champ. Of course, I'm tougher, so it's not going to actually happen. Anyway, Don, come with me to the library. Okay, Barry. So yeah, I think I said a couple episodes that I was going to hit up the library before I went to Iron Island. I forewent that for obvious reasons, because now is the time where we're finally going to head on inside. Too slow. Come on, let's move it. All right, let's take a look on in here. Let's see what we got. Hello? Not going to make me pay to come in here. Good. I would be surprised if that was the case, but I don't know. Weirder things have happened in Pokemon games. Especially when I see a receptionist, I just instantly recoil, thinking that's going to happen. Nothing here. Up to the 3rd floor then. Hey, Don, over here, this way. Oh, look who's here. We haven't seen you guys in a while. Okay, Gramps, I brought time like I said. All right, I'll be out of here. Okay, I get it. Everyone's here finally. Don, everyone, listen. You may have forgotten already, but I study the evolution of Pokemon. But the more I study, the more mysteries appear and multiply. Pokemon that evolve and those that don't. What makes them different from each other? Do those that are immature as living beings evolve to ones more mature? If so, what do we make of the legendary Pokemon that don't evolve? Are we to assume that the legendary Pokemon are complete as creatures? This is where you three come in. In the 3 lakes of Sinnoh, there are said to be Mirage Pokemon. If we can obtain data on them, it may shed some light on how the process of Pokemon evolution works. I need help from each of you on this grand undertaking. Help me find these Pokemon that are considered to be Mirages. What are you saying? I didn't get a Pokedex. And who was it that bolted from the lab before I had a chance to give you a Pokedex? But that's water under the bridge. Seeing Pokemon with your own eyes is important for you in becoming a better trainer too. You bet, Professor. This will add to the Pokedex database and help advance your research. I would have made all of you go regardless anyway. Now, there are 3 lakes. Fortuitously, there are 3 of you. You should therefore split up and investigate the lakes individually. Lucas, you go to Lake Verity. Yes, sir. Barry, I want you to investigate Lake Acuity. That would take you almost to Snow Point City. The road there is harsh. I need a tough trainer to go. Yeah, of course, Gramps. You know how to call it. You can tell I'm the hotness. And you know what? I was going to catch those legendary Pokemon for you. You know, as thanks for giving us our Pokemon back on Route 201. Even though I forgot completely about it until just now. Very well, I'm counting on you. And that leaves Dawn with Lake Valor. The lake is between Veilstone and Pastoria, if memory serves. Has it stopped? Are all of you unharmed? What was that about? No, wait, I mean TV. The TV, news, anything. What in the world? What you've just witnessed is actual footage from the scene. It was taken by a cameraman who happened to be there. It's certainly impressive. Who knows what the explosion could expose at the lake? Gramps, they said it was an explosion? But why at Lake Valor? Let's get outside. I'm concerned about the town. You kids, be careful going down the stairs. Okay. Dawn, you should leave now too. There may be aftershocks, however. Be alert always. You got it, Professor Rowan. Okay, wow. So just so it happens that we were headed that way, and of course there's a gigantic explosion. Could it have anything to do with the bomb that we didn't actually apprehend several episodes ago? Probably. That tremor, that wasn't a natural occurrence. Hey, old dude and kids, did you hear? They're saying there was a huge explosion at Lake Valor, but I hear everything's fine now. I guess it was just a lot of noise. I don't know. That was a pretty big plume of smoke. Gramps, I'm going. I have a bad feeling about this. But weren't we all supposed to split up? Barry, can't sit still. Dawn, I don't like to demand, but I need you at Lake Valor. It's impossible for things to be okay, not after an explosion like that. But I have no idea what is taking place. But before you go, let me stress, don't get it on over your head. We will try to join you as soon as we inspect Lake Verity. Lake Valor, I wonder what happened. Well, we're going to have to go and find out in the next episode because that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Let's Play Pokemon Platinum very, very much. And I will see you all in the next one.